Hey everybody, this is the weekly forecast commencing on Monday, May the 6th, 2024. This is a big positive shift of energies because on late Tuesday night, the 7th Pacific time, mostly for everybody else, on the 8th will be a new moon setting a new intention. And this new moon will be in earthy, calming, steady Taurus. The last couple of months have been very volatile astrologically because of the full moon lunar eclipse in the end of March. April the 8th, there was a new moon solar eclipse in Aries. On the 20th of April, there was a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that can bring a lot of breakthrough energies. And then on the 23rd of April is a really intense full moon in Scorpio, being aspected by powerful Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio. So the energies have been really intense and unstable. A lot of changes, a lot of protesting, a lot of anger. However, now, in the next this Tuesday to Wednesday, with the new moon settling in with Taurus, it is drawing our attention to Taurus energies. As I said, it's more calming, more grounded, more steady. So all of that volatile, unstable energy is starting to relax and calm down. And where Taurus falls in your chart is where you're going to be feeling the most steadiness, maybe the most sense of security. If you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or to sign up for my free daily message. All right, let's start with Monday, May the 6th. The moon will be void of course. In fact, from 11 p.m. Pacific time, the day before, Sunday night, the moon in fiery, impatient Aries goes void of course. And it remains void of course for most of Monday to 2:43 p.m. Pacific time. As I mention every week, when the moon is changing signs, but it's no longer aspecting any other planets, so there's no energy, it's called the void of course. The energy is unproductive and flat, and you don't want to start important new projects because if you did a horoscope for the moment, and that horoscope can tell you, and hopefully the trends, the outcome of that event. If the moon is void of course on when you started the job, started the event, it may take so much more effort to accomplish your goals, or it just falls flat. It's okay to keep doing what you've been doing, the same old routine, good for resting, good for meditation. You certainly do not want to start anything important new on most of Monday. Now, at 2:43 p.m. on Monday, Pacific time, the moon that sets the public tone goes into Taurus. So it's setting up that new moon in Taurus. The sun in Taurus will be in harmony with Saturn on Tuesday. Sun-Saturn is about grounding us, being pragmatic, being sensible. It's good business sense, good for feeling more confident and secure. Best after the moon goes into Taurus at 2:43 p.m. Pacific time. Now, on Tuesday, the 7th, the new moon does not happen until 8:23 p.m. Pacific time. So that's still before midnight on the east coast of the United States. But through Europe, it's happening on the 8th. Anyhow, it doesn't really matter because it is going to be the 7th and the 8th that this new moon is setting up its energies to refocus, to calm us down. Now, this new moon is going to be at 18 degrees of Taurus. There's 30 degrees in a sign. And Saturn, that was so fortunate with the sun the day before, Saturn is at 17 degrees of Pisces. So Saturn is forming an almost tight 60-degree angle to the new moon. 60 degrees is called a sextile. It basically indicates positive opportunities. Now you got to grab the opportunity and work with it, but it's there for the taking. And Saturn is all that grounding, business, pragmatic energy in harmony with the new moon in Taurus. So not only is the new moon in Taurus grounding us and calming us and giving more security, that Saturn is really helping to achieve our goals, to get beyond all that instability of the past couple of months. But on Tuesday the 7th, earlier in the day, the moon in Taurus, around 7-8 a.m. Pacific time, will cross over pleasure-seeking relational Venus, Pacific time. So that early morning, depending on where you are in the world, this can be a very charming time. It's good for going out to lunch with a loved one, doing something creative. So there's all that creative, pleasurable, relational Venus energy that's really influencing the public tone. So then later in the day, the new moon. On Wednesday, the 8th, the moon, continuing in Taurus, will be crossing over expansive, lucky Jupiter from about 9-10 a.m. Pacific time. The Jupiter can trigger to the public response of the moon, optimism, expansion. Jupiter can be traveling. You could be really planning and thinking about education, which is Jupiter, or marketing, publishing, which is Jupiter. Whatever direction it takes for you, that moon Jupiter is you're feeling very hopeful. At 4:21 p.m. Pacific time, the moon leaves steady Taurus and goes into flexible, versatile Gemini. Gemini is stimulating a lot of ideas and conversations, and you're running from one errand to the next. That moon in Gemini will be in harmony, a trine to deep transformational Pluto, about 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. That emotional moon, positive with Pluto, this could be very favorable for having very profound conversation, doing a lot of deep introspection. Could be very favorable for seeing what you need to let go in your life for the better. On the 9th, the moon's continuing in Gemini. Nothing else is going along for the day, so pretty much a calm day. But with the moon in Gemini, you're very mentally active. You're doing this, your correspondence. You could be working on working on your website, working on correspondence. But at the very end of the day, 10:11 p.m. Pacific time, so it's going to be on Thursday, on Friday for everybody else, east of the west coast of the United States. But the moon, the end of the day, is going to be a square or a hard angle to restricted Saturn. Most of you are going to be sleeping, but that moon Saturn could be really worrying about your responsibilities. On Friday the 10th, the moon continuing in Gemini, communication, flexible, versatile Gemini, will be in harmony, a sextile, with Mercury around late morning Pacific time. Now, Mercury is the planet that rules Gemini. So the moon in Gemini has it's all over the place with all these ideas and conversations and wittiness and good for communications and writing and speaking. But Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So everything that Gemini represents, Mercury represents, and these two planets will be in harmony with each other late morning, Pacific time. So this is really favorable for brainstorming, conversations, writing, having to speak, doing a lecture. Early evening, maybe after 6, 7, 8 p.m. Pacific time, the moon will be in a square or a challenging aspect to nebulous Neptune. That's often a time, moon, emotional, Neptune, getting out of focus, being moody. But it's later in the day, it's in the early, going into the middle of the evening, Pacific time. As I always say, this too shall pass. Good news is most of you will be going to sleep. However, it is a Friday night. And if you are out and about, having a good time, going to restaurants, going to clubs, going to concerts, the moon Neptune could be prone to being disappointed or getting drunk, because you could get, or drugs, because that Neptune is all that escapist energy, and we're going into a Friday night. And there's lots of young people who just don't have to be young, who just want to have a really good time and drink and escape. But this is really sensitive energy, so it won't take much for you to, go over the top and maybe regret it the next day with a hangover. At 8:40 p.m. Friday night, the moon leaves Gemini and goes into Cancer. Cancer is more reflective energy, more home body energy, more nurturing energy. Gemini, it's more impersonal, more ideas, more communications. Cancer, more personal. So for the weekend, with that moon in Cancer, a lot of you may just want to stay at home, or, go out and entertain and have fun with family. Or it could be an ideal Saturday for entertaining at your home or entertaining with family. However, that moon in Cancer will be forming a hard angle to irritable, impatient Mars from about 11 a.m., little past noon Pacific time. So there might be some unexpected upsets, anxiousness, irritability. This too shall pass. Sunday, the moon continues in Cancer, but around 4, 5, 6 a.m. Pacific time, the moon will be in harmony with stabilizing, grounding Saturn. Most people on the West Coast probably is still sleeping from their Saturday night, but for everybody else, it'll be up early, later in the day. This is a time of feeling more secure, grounded, practical, good for business. And then early afternoon on Sunday, the moon will be in harmony with the sun and with Uranus. The moon sun is when relationships seem to just flow more effortlessly. The energies just is more supportive. It's as if things work out more easily, and you're coming off of that moon Saturn where you're feeling very grounded. And the moon also excellent early afternoon. When it's excellent with the sun, it's excellent with Uranus. Moon Uranus is emotionally, let's try something new, let's think out of the box, let's let go of old stuck patterns, let's bring in some exciting new ventures. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to sign up for my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go. That's .co. Until next week, be safe and well.